Like once again, I'll try to focus on my own cam. Like basically, like what I'm trying to say with these two games is that Buckies right now are really useful, and basically like, because of the way the game works, anything that you can do to like neutralize an outpost or pick off enemy units without your mech having to do anything is just really good. Especially if it's a large map, and your mech like is mobile, as I said earlier. Like, but like what I'm trying to say is Tangy is a much better player than me, but like I actually, you'll see, but like I actually play pretty well in this game because of just like abusing that speed and abusing Bucky AI and that kind of stuff. This was actually like a placement, we call it the qualifier game for like the tournament. Like this is the game that I think actually got me to qualify it. Which it doesn't really matter because the tournament broke anyways, and like no one even got to play, except for Tyler. Tyler got to play her game, but it's a sad day for everyone else. So I open up with Bucky's. Angie's gonna go with Dillos. And like this is actually a very interesting move. Like I did not expect this at all. He like instantly begins working on this, and these two Dillos are out of range, so those are well placed. I try to harass the Dillos, but the Osprey is able to keep them all alive. And the Dillos do have a faster turn rate than Longhorns, so like, I'm not able to do very much. But Tandy doesn't know that there's a bot spawner, but it doesn't really matter. Like by the time this is neutralized, he can just pick up these creeps anyways if he wants to, but he's actually just going to continue committing towards this spawn. Same time, my neutralization is a lot slower. I actually sent these Buckies up towards the top instead, so the forces that had neutralizing this outpost are less, so I don't actually get that outpost. But at the same time, at least I'm able to prevent him from getting it for quite some time. Here I switch targeting to kill that Dillo just to get the XP because I know I can't actually get this outpost at that point. The Buckies are continuing to do a little bit of damage. If I distract long enough, then they'll be able to get that. Like right now, I still don't know that Tangy is going for this outpost and it's completely neutral. Like usually the next step is you either attack here or here. So like the idea is I'm attacking with the Buckies here, but I'm also dropping here. But I see this, I just instantly change my mind. Like there's no way I can actually get this. He already has the outpost. And if I approach from here, these two neutrals are going to be shooting at me as well as these guys. Try to see if I can pick off a jumper or something, but that's really risky. Here I actually activated like my I got my third point as I was running away because like I thought that I was gonna die, so try to get that extra burst of speed. Like right now I have 0 points into sword, but there isn't really anything for me to sword anyways. Can you just solidifying the hold on this bottom left? I'm just gonna try to neutralize this outpost. This outpost, because like it's closer to this one, I can heal faster. Also, this is the one that has bots, what do you call it, bear traps, so that it might be a little bit more helpful. I realize that he's just gonna deactivate them anyways if he wants to, so I just take one and leave. But the two Longhorn I placed do actually capture this outpost. Actually, I'm not sure why am I heading upkeep. It might be the bear traps or something. He should have more income though, like overall. I mean, like because of the salvage, not income, just total credits. He should have more. And these Buckies are really low. I think he gets 2. He gets 3 actually. Yeah, I'm beginning to attack this stuff. I think I placed the no, I haven't. But later I do place the Buckies there. Like right now, like I think what's happening is oh wait, no. I was about to say something about like how I was intimidated because I was playing Tangy. So I wasn't really doing anything, but yeah. I begin to use these Buckies, and this is outside of Tangy's radar range. He doesn't know what's going on, and I try to harass. I kill one Dillo while that's happening. So like this is pretty good for me. Like although there are these neutrals, so I need to work through them first. But the idea right now is I just need to keep on distracting Tangy from what's going on at the bottom. Let's just shoot the 4 or something. Like shooting the 4 is not a good idea because like it's something, but you don't want to stay there too long because good players know that you're not actually going to do any real damage. So it's just like a blip to temporarily like get their attention for 1 second. Tanji is actually going for mid now. I pick up a couple of creeps. Like I see that these Buckies are not quite done yet, so there's no point in dropping the creeps here and alerting Tanji to what I'm doing. I just drop the creeps over here to the fort and try to get them to do some damage and just, well, it's not really for the damage as much as it is to distract him. Tanji manages to grab the mid in the meantime though. But I see that he's committing his forces to the mid. He's defending here. And he's defending here, so he's not going to have that many troops. And right now I'm thinking about pushing with these units that I have. These 4 creeps are still distracting him. Tanji has to go back. In the meantime, these Buckies are still neutralizing this outpost. I see it go neutral, and I think this is where I start to think, yeah, like maybe I can use this as a distraction now. Like, it's nice to get this outpost, but Tanji already realizes it, right? He's too good to like just, he'll instantly notice that it's gone. So now the Buckies are the distraction. Like before, like I was distracting my mech and trying to get these Buckies to neutralize. Now the Buckies are the distraction, and I just want to win this fight and neutralize the top. And he actually pushes with Jokers. I wasn't expecting this, and it looks like he's going to be able to neutralize it. But I actually added bot spawners earlier as well. So I have an influx of creeps that helps to keep this alive a bit longer than it should have. Now this push is happening. One of the mines acted, but I didn't actually set them to T or Ys. I just set them to move command with F. So like they're not going to run into too many mines. And with the help of the auto-deployed Mortys and the bot spawners, I actually do hold that push. Drop a couple of creeps in and take this outpost. I don't actually know other mines here, and this is a mistake. I mean, it's kind of strange, right? Like, why would he put mines there? If he didn't put mines here, why would he put them there? Like, whatever. But anyways, he actually manages to kill a lot. I don't know that. I still think that this attack should be fairly okay. But the bot spawners have still managed to capture this outpost for a second, despite the fact that like there's this many stuff. And now there is this attack here. I thought that this would be able to get the finishing blow, so I just sent this one Bucky here to maybe do a little bit of damage. Like ideally I would have had more than one Bucky, but I just want to get here as fast as possible. And I didn't realize that like these mines had killed my stuff earlier, so I'm thinking that this should be still a fight that I can win. I set them to Y because I realized that I'm actually not going to be able to kill them outright. Like maybe I can get some fort damage done. I'm just trying to distract around my mech, but it doesn't look like I'm actually going to be able to get anything here. I'm just going to try to jump away. Tanji decides not to pursue, which is probably a good idea. Like an Osprey doesn't really have that much offensive capability. So he just manages to keep everything alive. And here now, Tanji has the upkeep advantage. So like we're in a little bit of a similar situation as the previous game. Again, I have bot spawners. I had this one Bucky. He was killing this stuff during this entire time. Right now, I'm just continually trying to distract, trying to let that Bucky and that like the bot spawners flood in. Like eventually, they'll be able to just neutralize this stuff and kill this stuff. And that's just going to be helpful. Tanji has the level advantage. I'm just trying to harass as much as I can. And this outpost is beginning to turn red. Tanji comes back and he is going to take back this outpost. I'm trying to kill off the Dillo. I think Tanji will probably come back. There's no reason not to. But he does see it. He realizes that what kind of thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just neutralize everything and just prevent him. Like I did a drop with the Goliath over here. I chose the Goliath. Like you can do a lot of damage, but mainly because it can survive, so I can come back and just save it. I just dropped it here because I couldn't bring it back at once, but with the second time I should be able to save it. And the bot spawners are continuing to do a little bit of damage through the creeps. I dropped the Goliath again, try to distract. Once again, I have to drop it there to get out. This was a bit of a mistake I think. Luckily, Tanji he was trying to get the Goliath, so he didn't notice me. These two gangsters, so I guess he's gonna drop them at the bomb, right? But yeah, like at this point, these Buckies again, I think I just dropped them here. They'll be able to neutralize this again. Like as long as I can just keep what I have and continue to use these bot spawners and Buckies to neutralize him and just distract him. Like that's my ideal outcome. I see that his mid is pretty heavily guarded, I can't really drop there. But there's this Dillo being auto-deployed, Tangy isn't able to save in time. But he is able to kill this Goliath that I actually forgot about. I thought that I brought it back earlier, but I didn't. Now the creeps and the Buckies are continuing to push forward. They're actually going to get this outpost neutral. I think this one also got neutral by creeps at some point. And he decides to leave because like there's a Goliath. He probably would have been able to get the neutralization, but it's a little bit risky. Like the Osprey is not a combat mech after all. So I just drop the Goliath once again, try to distract him a bit. I come back, drop it over here again. And this time, the Buckies are finally done with that. They actually captured this outpost and they're going to begin working on this one. I'm still trying to distract him, dropping this Goliath here. And I just bring it back. In the meantime, the creeps and the Buckies are beginning to neutralize this one. Like I don't want to let the pressure, so I try to do something here at mid. I drop 2 Longhorn here. I think I picked something up and send that Bucky up towards here. There were actually already Buckies doing this, but don't want to lose this one. But yeah, like, just the point here is like just on this map especially, you can just distract them, use Buckies, use bot spawners, stuff like that. Shooters, artillery, what have you. Like if you can just get them distracted, like they can eventually just clear everything. Like, and the Osprey is probably one of the worst mechs to deal with this kind of play, because they don't like have much. There just isn't much they can do about it. Like Ospreys are good in situations like where there's a direct fight, and like they're actually good at defense and like in a straight up push because they have the outpost heal, and they can just hover over it while they're healing their units. But like Ospreys are ideally used in like fights where the maps are small, or like the fighting is going to be concentrated in one area mostly. But for larger maps like this, like more mobile mechs with this kind of play style is pretty strong. And the bot spawners like eventually do capture this even with his presence here. And like he actually has more upkeep than I do. He has more upkeep, like it feels like he's not winning, right? Like there's just like so much pressure that it just feels like you can't really deal with it. Like honestly, I think bot spawners like might be a little strong, but it is also a risk because like they are easily killed, and like if they don't, I think Tangy just find no, he's just gonna drop something and try to distract as well. Another thing is Tangy, like he's actually really good at distracting himself. Like he basically does what I do, what I'm doing here. Like so, I guess that's in his mentality to kind of do that as well. But the Osprey is just kind of not suited for that. And here, like, that's pretty stupid. I just kind of boost off the cliff and die. And that means that he will kill this Goliath that I was probably going to go back and try to save, but he does try to push in, but the Goliath does have a pretty good angle. He'll be able to do a lot of damage without the majority of them firing back. I'm trying to neutralize this outpost and I do get neutral. That means Tangy doesn't have that much left after this Goliath neutralizes this. I decided to push for Y because he actually doesn't have that much. He committed most of his units over here. And his forces over here are thin too. Like this flacker is exposed. I want to send a couple of missiles towards here because I think that the Goliath will get the flacker by himself, and he does. Send a couple of these Buckies on T just to neutralize this just in case he gets it somehow. Evacuate the Goliath and drop it back here after I heal it, I guess. Or here. Here works. And they will finish off this gangster and this Gorgon. And now I just try to push, drop this thing, just try to continue to distract him. He comes back for it, he still doesn't know this push is happening. And with the bot spawners, I'm going to be able to easily capture this outpost even without creeps. Like, the only thing Tangy has here now is just this outpost, but even like his control here has been whittled down by the Goliath drops and the Longhorn drops. And this push is finally showing up at his front door. There's this Goliath here, but it's going to get taken out pretty easily. Like, Tangy is trying to do drops himself, but it's already a bit late. And to begin with, like, the Osprey is just slower, so he can't do as effectively as Striker can, especially with the missiles and the afterburner. And just drop the stuff on the corner so like he can't really effectively block this. So yeah, this game basically showcases like how that playstyle is really strong. Yeah, it is the most favorable situation, but like I'm not sure where I'm going with this. Like I'm not saying I don't want them nerfed. Like I like being able to use Buckies like this. It kind of reminds me of like how like I play StarCraft. Like you kind of like the idea to be able to attack multiple places, and like it's kind of not possible to do that without mech presence, like unless the units can handle themselves. Yeah, this is a pretty good map for that stuff. Tangy actually has a higher map score, but I am actually going to get them nerfed, aren't I? Alright, I guess I'll go off now. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Actually, I'll do one more giveaway, I guess. Let's see. Actually, there's a Deep Sea Osprey, so we'll just do that.